Kate was determined to walk out of this marriage and get her sweet revenge. Kate sat at the breakfast table covering the marks from last night. Ronald asked her to buy a nice dress for the evening, as she can't be seen wearing cheap clothes in such a rich crowd. Kate agreed to it, knowing what she was going to do at the party.
Let's go.
Marrying him felt perfect, but it was the biggest mistake of Kate's life. Soon she got to know that Ronald was cheating on her with multiple women. She was filled with rage and wanted a divorce. Even though she had gathered the courage to divorce him, it was risky to go against the most powerful person in the city, Ronald Scott. Whether in the boardroom or in the bedroom, possessive to the core, he was ready to destroy any man who laid eyes on his wife. But behind the facade of a marriage, Kate was more determined than ever. She could not tolerate the feeling of being disrespected in her own marriage.
I have an appointment with my husband.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Scott. He's in the middle of something. Ed asked me to come down and...
Breaking news! Ronald Scott and Emily Taylor spotted at the Bellagio. Is he again cheating on his wife? They look so cute together. Netizens are going crazy. Next on the show.
Her marriage had become just another gossip piece for the media. She had become a backup for her own husband. Her husband who slept with a new woman every night but wouldn't give time to his own wife. Kate took a pause, looked at the assistant with confidence, and asked him to get the papers signed by Ronald.
I've signed the papers.
Kate very well knew she was signing herself up for disaster. Ronald had power and wealth, and an egoistic man like him can't be seen getting dumped in public. He could never stand the humiliation. Ronald could not process what he saw. How could Kate dare to do such a thing?
Divorce?
Looks like it.
Have I not given her enough to spend?
$3 million every month transferred to her account on time, sir.
And have I not given her enough to wear?
Mrs. Scott receives the latest couture from Paris, no later than 3 days from its initial release.
And what about her life? Have I not given her a good life thing?
7 maids, 1 mansion, a personal chauffeur, and a position at Scott's bank. She is the head of the branch.
Ronald thought he could suppress Kate with his money, but Kate was not going to lose her dignity. Ronald told the assistant to tell Kate that he won't sign the papers, and if people get to know about this, he will ruin her life. As soon as Kate got the message, she packed her bags ready to leave the Scott mansion. When suddenly she saw Ronald walking towards her with anger.
Cut to the chase. What sort of games are you playing?
Kate felt nice to see Ronald agitated. The man who held all the power was trembling with the fear of humiliation. This was nothing compared to what Kate had gone through every single night when he cheated on her. Kate was sure she was going to take revenge for all the years she has suffered in this toxic marriage.
You're overthinking.
I'm overthinking. You're not toying with me, are you? Reverse psychology, maybe?
If suggesting a divorce embarrasses you so much, we'll file the papers instead.
Seriously, you really want to divorce me?
Kate, without a pause, mentioned that he has not touched her after marriage, but he would rather comfort a new woman every night. Why doesn't he get married to one of them? She would be the happiest to separate.
Hey, Ronnie, I'm just getting a little bit nervous about this event tomorrow night.
Kate quietens as Ronald talks to one of his mistresses right in front of her. It was Emily. She was a materialistic leech who was only after Ronald for his money. The girl Ronald was rumored to have an affair with.
Let go of me. Let go of me!
As soon as Emily heard Kate's voice, she asked Ronald to bring her to the party. The party where the paparazzi would obsess over Emily and Ronald. It would be priceless to see Kate's reaction and for the Paps to capture it.
I didn't say yes.
Kate was not asked for consent. She was commanded to show up at the party and get humiliated. How far could Ronald go to hurt her? This was not some normal party. Big people from the city were going to gather, and Ronald was going to surprise Emily with a gift. Kate threatened Ronald that she will show up at the party with another man to give him a taste of his own medicine. Not only that, she will throw the divorce papers on Ronald's face. The next morning, Kate woke up with a feeling of disgust. She felt violated and used after Ronald forced himself upon her. Not only that, she caught him texting Emily right after they had sex. Kate was determined to walk out of this marriage and get her sweet revenge. Kate sat at the breakfast table covering the marks from last night. Ronald asked her to buy a nice dress for the evening, as she can't be seen wearing cheap clothes in such a rich crowd. Kate agreed to it, knowing what she was going to do at the party.
Let's go.
All right.
At the store, gossip and disdain for Kate still followed her as the saleswomen mocked her and called her ugly. They could not believe that a rich catch like Mr. Scott was with a hideous woman like her. They thought the juicy rumors about Mr. Scott's scandalous love life might actually be true.
Excuse me, do you have this in my size?
The saleswoman taunted Kate that she can't pick the dress because it is already taken, and even if it wasn't, she could never pull it off. While Kate couldn't process the audacity of the saleswoman, she saw her biggest rival Emily walk into the store.
This dress arrived just this morning. Here it is. Somebody even laid their hands on it when I had to tell them off.
Thanks.
Emily looked at Kate and asked her if she was really coming to the party. How could she be so unaffected after knowing that she doesn't deserve to be there?
You know, it's funny, we keep going for the same things. And yet somehow they always end up with me. But of course I'm about dress. You know, if you like, we could, swap it for something of yours, Miss Carter.
Oh, you're talking about my husband. How obscure. You know what? Sure, you can have him. He's rejected goods now anyway.
What are you talking about?
I'm divorcing him.
Emily was shocked to hear that Kate was divorcing Ronald, which means Kate will take half his wealth. Emily could not let that happen.
You cheap whore.
Kate stopped Emily from slapping her. She would no longer tolerate the disrespect coming from her or Ronald. This left Emily shocked. Kate slapped Emily back to show her her place. Kate told Emily that she knows the truth about why she is with Ronald. It's for nothing but money, and she will never marry him.
You're despicable, Kate.
Is that all you have? I hope you are talking as Mrs. Scott the next time you try to confront me. Otherwise, you're just a homewrecker.
The two women saw Ronald standing right behind them. Kate was nervous for a second, but then she collected herself because she knew she has done nothing wrong. Kate's blood boiled, and her eyes were filled with rage from all the past trauma from their marriage, and not once had Ronald apologized for any of his deeds. Emily took the opportunity and acted all innocent to get Ronald's attention. She complained how hard Kate had slapped her in front of everyone.
So what if I slapped her? What are you gonna do about it?
Kate looked into his eyes. She could see how he could not stand her now that she can talk back and no longer be his punching bag. Ronald looked at Kate and asked her to apologize for calling Emily a homewrecker and slapping her so hard. If Kate did not do so, she cannot come to the party. Ronald wanted Kate to apologize for creating a public scene, but Kate was not going to do so. Ronald took a pause. He knew she wouldn't apologize because she had become so stubborn and unreasonable. He was glad she was not going to show up at the party. He did not want to be seen with her anyway, and it was not worth it for a small paparazzi scene. But what Ronald didn't know was that Kate had a master plan for seeking her sweet revenge. Emily and Ronald had underestimated Kate. The current Kate was fearless and would go to any lengths. She was dangerous. Ronald had to make sure she does not enter the party. He knew she could never enter without a pass, so he was a bit relaxed. With that, Emily and Ronald walked out of the store hand in hand while Kate stared at them. She knew she had to get in anyhow. This was her last chance to get things right for herself, and the countless times she was left alone, abandoned and disrespected. Kate had gotten to know about the party venue. She reached there and soon after saw Ronald and Emily reach the same party together. On the other hand, Kate was desperately waiting for her secret man to arrive. The man who was her trump card, the man who had once been Ronald's worst nightmare, was back again to help Kate seek her ultimate revenge from him for all the humiliation and suffering he caused her. Coming up next, did Kate divulge Ronald's long-kept dark secret out in the open? Will Kate manage to come out of this toxic marriage and get divorced?
To listen to the full audio series, install the Pocket FM app now.
Pocket FM. Download the app now.